Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, just Daf It. Today, it's Daf Kesubos, Daf Ayin Aleph, number 71. We have a great share for you today. The top second line, Ayin Aleph and Aleph. Rehuda Omer B'Yisrael Chodesh Echad, and a machlokas in the Mishnah, how long a man has to forbid his wife from Tashmish, from Hana. We'll describe more in Iyot Ben Sion what exactly the Hanos law means. She can't get a certain type of pleasure from her husband. So the Tanakama says that if it's for one Chodesh, so one Chodesh, then if it's up until 30 days, Yamid Parnes, he could make someone a steward to help out over here. More than 30 days, they have to give a ksuba. Rabbi Yehuda says it depends. For a Kohen, it's 2 months, up till 2 months, and more than 2 months, then he has to give a ksuba. He has to give a get and give a ksuba. But seemingly about Yisrael, she's Israel, he agrees. So what's the machlokas between Rabbi Yehuda and Tanakama? Where's Tanakama? Rabbi Yehuda seems to be like Tanakama. Amar Abai Kohenes Asal Hashmoina, and really Rabbi Yehuda agrees with Tanakama. He's just telling you an additional halacha that when it comes to Isha's Kohen, we give 2 months, a little more than 2 months, then you have to get divorced and give a ksuba. Rava Amar Chodesh Mali v'Chodesh Chaser Yikmenayu. The machlokas is really not a big machlokas between them. It's a small machlokas. Is it a full 30 days, or if it happens to be that month to be a Chodesh Chaser, 29 days, that would already be the limit. More than 29 days would be considered an abrogation of the rights that a woman is entitled from her husband, and then you have to give a ksuva. Which opinion says Chodesh Malay, which is Chodesh Chaser? The article says that Rehuda says Chodesh Malay. It has to be. I think Rehuda says Chodesh Chaser, even 29 days. I would say the opposite. I would say Rehuda says more. He has until 30 days, 30 full days, and according to Tanakama, he would have only 29 days. More if it's a Chodesh Chaser. Amar Rav Loshan El Mefarish. Machlokes between the halacha. Rav says the halacha that until 30 days he can go by, he can still continue his marriage. More than 30 days, another more than 30 days, he'd have to megarish and give a ksuba. That's only when he says 30 days. Al-Wastam, he just says, I'm answering you bahana without specifying a time. Yotzi la'al be the ksuba. Rav says you have to give a ksuba right away. Rav Shmuel Amar, afil b'stam liyotzi, even if he says a general, he doesn't specify an amount of time, he doesn't have to divorce her right away. Shema Yimsa Pesach Lenidro. You wait 30 days because maybe he'll imater nedel and he'll annul his vow. Like Maria says, why Rav and Shmuel arguing a second time about this? They already argued about it. This now in Mishnah, in the last parak, Daf Samach Aleph, Amud Beis 61b. Hamader is Ishta b'Tasha Shamita. He says to his wife, I'm not going to engage in Tasha Shamita. We'll have to define the difference in Tasha Shamita and Hana in our Mishnah. I'm not going to engage Tasha Shamita. V'shamay omrim shtei shabbosos. If he says 2 weeks, up until 2 weeks is okay. More than 2 weeks, you have to give ksuba. But he said omrim Shabbos achas. One Shabbos is okay. 8 days would be a problem. I'm a Rav. Machlokes mefarish. Rav says the same idea. It's only when you specify 7 days. Avastam yotzi la'al tivitei ksuba. If you don't specify a time, right? The woman thinks it's forever, so you have to give it right away. V'shmuel Amar afilu b'stam nami liyotzi shema yimsa pesach l'nidro. You give the full 7 days, the full 14 days, maybe he'll annul the neder. So whereas sricha, they had to argue in both places. The idbar behi, if we just said it over there, behi kamar ramishun the left from a parnes. Over there by Tasha Shamita, we'll explain why in Iyot Ben Sion why it's not possible to have a parnes by Tasha Shamita. You can't make a steward to have Tasha Shamita with her. Ava Baha, here the Afshar of Parnes, here, according to most opinions, according to the article, we're talking about food. He's not providing food. Here he can provide Bahana in our Mishnah is food. So he can provide food through the Parnes. The steward can give her food, whatever she needs. Then maybe he's moded to Shmuel or more Makel, that you give 30 days even if he doesn't specify a time. If we just hit over here, Shmuel says what he says over here, therefore even a neder which is not specified, we give 30 days. The Rav there, Tasha Amita is very significant over there, not Efshar Parnes. He'd be moda to Rav that even an unspecified neder, he has to divorce right away and give her a ksuva. Sricha, that's why they had machlokas in both places. None. Hamader is dishes or titum echem we call peros yotivite and ksuva. says to his wife in the Mishnah, he says, I take a neder that you can't even taste one of the fruits, any fruit. He has to give a ksuba. Bishlam l'rav kan mistam kan mafarish. Here it doesn't say specify a time, so that's why, according to Rav, when you take a neder to limit her hanas, her enjoyment, that's what our Mishnah is talking about. One of the hanas, she has to taste any fruit she wants. If you take a neder, she can't taste all the fruits, right? And even one fruit, she might like that fruit. So here it's talking about where he doesn't give a specific time. That's why it's different than the Reisha, the first part of the Mishnah, where it's 30 days. Here, right away, you have to give a ksuva. According to Shmuel, he says, "Bestam, right? You have 30 days. Why don't you have 30 days over here also?" Shmuel said, it's not that she took the neder. It's not that he made a neder on her. It's talking about she took a neder. She doesn't want to be toeing from one of the payros in the world. The kayim la'ihu, she normally, the Gemara says in the Dharam, a husband has 24 hours to annul, to be mayfair the neder of his wife. If he doesn't do so, he chooses just to hear it and not annul the neder, so then it becomes binding and you can't get rid of it. Ew, and it's worse because Rameir, who knows in Esav Shinel, and Rameir, who our Mishnah is a Stam Mishnah, so therefore Stam Mishnah we normally do is Rameir. Who knows in Esav Ben Shinel? He put his finger Ben Shinel, meaning it's his fault, it's his obligation to take care of his wife. Literally, it means that he stuck his finger in her mouth, and of course she's going to bite him, but it's his fault he stuck his finger in her mouth. I've explained it elsewhere. Who knows in Espa Ben Shinel? Meaning it's his responsibility to put his finger, maybe not his finger, a lower finger in his body, in the middle of his body, Ben Shinel, between the teeth of her vulva, the clitoris, in order to stimulate an orgasm for her. He's responsible for that. And therefore it's his fault. He's Makayim, or he has a responsibility to take care of his wife. And he's Makayim the neder, so it's his fault. Meir, who knows in Esab Ben Shinel, Meir really hold, he did Esab Ben Shinel, Tanya, Yishin Nadra Ben Nazir. And Barisha says in Mitzachas Nazir, she took a neder, she became a Nazira, and her husband heard. He also has the ability to make for the neder, and he heard it, and he wasn't made for it. Right? Meir Rabbi Huda Omrim, he not his pitchana. Meir says exactly the opposite. It's not his fault, right? She put a finger between his teeth, right? Or according to my explanation, that it's her responsibility, partially, to take care of her orgasm. She puts her finger in the clitoris. While he aids in having an orgasm, but it's her responsibility. Therefore, if the Baal wants to be mayfair, he can be mayfair. If he says, I don't want a woman who takes nadarim, she loses her ksuva. It's her responsibility in the marriage. She is responsible partially for her nadarim. Who knows now? He's clearly responsible for her. And therefore, the ficha can rasa about lahafer yafer. If he wants to be mayfair, he can mayfair. Remember, he doesn't want a woman who takes nadarim, so he has to divorce her and give her a ksuva. There's an epoch. Switch it around. Meir Rehuda Omrim, who knows? Saying we have the wrong interpretation. Meir and Rehuda actually say who knows, and he's responsible. She's responsible. So Rabbi Yossi, he nasna. Does Rabbi Yossi really hold this? Rabbi Yossi, our Mishnah says, right? If he doesn't give amount of time, he says she's not able to miskashe, to have accessories, to have perfumes, right? A poor woman, he doesn't give a time, so he has to Yossi, we think suva. So the Yossi really holds that he nasna, it's her fault, right? Ema Rabbi Meir, so like the Gemara switches around. Ema Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yossi, Omrim hu nos, and he's responsible. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Lezer, Omrim he nasna. The Gemara continues further asking, but Rabbi Yehuda, he nasna. Even Rabbi Yehuda holds it's her fault. Not Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Yisrael Yomech Hadikaya. He says with Yisrael, right, 1 month, more than 1 month, right, more than 1 month, then he divorces her and he gives her a ksuva. He has to give her a ksuva. Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Omer, who knows? And say in this brisa in Nazir we had the wrong gear. So really, it's Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Yehuda all hold that it's her responsibility. Only Rabbi Lezer holds is his responsibility. Sorry, 1 second. Emar Meir Rabbi Yossi, who knows? Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Yehuda. Sorry, Yehuda. Sorry, 1 second. Emar Meir Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Omrim, who knows? He's responsible. Rabbi Lezer, Amr, he knows. I got it wrong. I'm sorry. They all say that he's responsible. Rabbi Lezer says she's responsible. Then there's another Zugi Kasana. If he'll say the brisa lists a pair, right? To switch it around and say who says what, we can switch it around. To now switch from 2 and 2 to 3 and 1, that's a problem. You can't amend a brayso like that. Amar and Meir Lezer Omrim Hina. So Meir and Lezer say she is responsible. Yehuda Riosi Omrim, who knows that it's his fault, right? And that's why our Mishnah quotes Rabbi Yossi and Yehuda. I was stunned with the local Rabbi Meir. Our Mishnah is not like Rabbi Meir, even though normally most anonymous Mishnayos, the Tanakama, most anonymous Mishnayos is Rabbi Meir. Here it's not Rabbi Meir. The Savar Rabbi Yossi Baniya Shonatz and Kitzvah. Does Rabbi Yossi really hold? If we're assuming that according to Shmuel, right, we're saying the whole Mishnah is talking about where it's not him making the nether, she's making the nether, and he's being Mekayim the nether. Does Rabbi Yossi hold Baniya Shonatz and Kitzvah? When poor women are not accustomed to having a lot of accessories, a lot of perfumes, a lot of things that they normally want, right? He doesn't give a limit. Alma Baal Matzi Mayfair. Sounds like, right? She took the nether, and he could be made for the nether, right? If he doesn't make for the nether, then he has to give her a ksuva. Raminu, is he even able to be made for such a nadarim? Things which cause pain, physical affliction to her, presumably. Right? She takes a nether, she's not going to take a shower, a bath. If I'll put on jewelry, accessories, perfumes, they're not called inu nefesh, these things. What's considered inu nefesh? Right? Who is the inu nefesh for? That's principally the machlokas over here. Right? Rabbi Yossi holds inu nefesh refers to her, that it's difficult for her. She can't have meat, she can't have wine, she can't wear colorful clothes. B'dei sivonim in the top of ayin aleph and beis. According to Tanakama, no, inu nefesh is presumably for the man, right? It's very hard if his wife doesn't take a shower or she doesn't wear makeup. So it'll be hard on a husband. So anyway, according to Rabbi Yossi, right, inu nefesh, which he has the ability to be made for those adarim, only consists of things that are hard for her. Things that are hard for him, he doesn't have the ability to be made for. Right? There's different types of things that cause the relationship to sour between the husband and wife. Things are between him and her, right? There's Dvarim Shebeino Lebeina and Dvarim Shel Inu Nefesh. So Rashi says Beino Lebeina is that she doesn't remove pubic hair. She doesn't remove. Most men like a woman that are clean shaven down below, and she refuses to do that, right? She takes a nether. So he can be made for the nether. Things between him and her, right? Separate between him and her, the hair, the pubic hair. A Baal Mefer, Elamandar in a Baal Mefer, it's Machlokas, could she be Mefer? Ma'igel Meimar, there is Marjon Shebeino Lebeina, Rav Huna Amar a Baal Mefer, Ravada Barava Amar in a Baal Mefer. Ravada Barava is in a Mora, he says the Baal can't be made for those things. We never found a fox dies in his own foxhole. He's accustomed to his wife, and he knows where her vagina is. So if he's able to get to it when it's clean shaven, he's able to get to it even with when there's hair there. So it's not something she may fair. Ella hachamayaskinon. So according to Rabbi Yossi, Yossi holds inu nefesh are those things which cause pain to her. That's not what we're talking about. Bein al bein according to Rabbi Barava, you can't be mefer. Right? She takes a nether and she says, right, the Amra Yasser Hanat Tashmishech Allah Yemes Kashet. The Hanat I'm going to get from being together with you, if I adorn myself, I wear makeup, so then your Hana will be Asr on me. The Amra of Kahana, Amra of Kahana, Hanat Tashmishech Alecha. If she takes a nether and she phrases it, right, that the hana that you get from Tashmish should be asr on you, kofa mishamash mashno. She can't take a nether to asr him on his rights. Hana tashmishech Allah yafer lefi she'em achil davar adam davar asr. If she says the hana that I get from the Tashmish should be asr on me, she said it about herself, right? We can't force him to be with her because we don't feed a person something which is asr to him. So the Gemara says v'lo tiskashe v'lo ta'asr. Why does he have to be made for the nether? Let her not be miskash, not wear makeup. Below the as shouldn't be usher. She's gonna call her. People are gonna call her disgusting. She has to wear makeup. She has to wear perfume. She has to wear accessories. So okay, so let her actually put on makeup, put on perfume, and she becomes usher. And still, we should still wait, according to Beishamai, 2 weeks, and according to Beisila, 1 week. That's only like our Mishnah taught on Samach Aleph and Beis, where he takes the neder. The Savra Mirsis Razach temporarily, he's angry, most of and then he's going to come back to himself. She took the neder, Shasik law, and he was Makayim, et Savra the Ishtik, Misna with the Sanili. He hates me right away, so therefore she'll want to get out of the marriage right away, and therefore we don't wait 2 weeks according to Beishamai, 1 week according to Beis Hillel. Riosi Omer Baniya Shalasan Kitzva. He also says by poor women, right? Doesn't give a specified time. A kama kitzva. What is a specified time, right? That it wouldn't be a problem. Or if you're on Mishmul, you're base chodesh. He says 12 months, right? 12 months she can go without kishutim, without being miskash, without perfume, without makeup. More than that, she'd have to give a ksuva. You have to be yoti with ksuva. Rav Bar Rav Chana Amar Yochanan Eser Shani, even 10 years. Rav Chizah Amar Avimi regel, only one regel. Up until the regel, Shekem knows Yisrael miskash is regel during Yom Tov, Shavuos, Pesach, Sukkot. They want to look good, so therefore, if you do it including the regel, you have to get divorced and give her a ksuba. Ashir Shloshim Yom. Rich people 30 days. Ma'ishna Shloshim Yom. Why 30 days? Amar Abai Shekin Isha Chashuva Nenes B'Reach Kishutel Shloshim Yom. A fancy woman, a rich woman, they exchange perfumes every 30 days. 30 days, they enjoy their perfume. After 30 days, I need some new perfume. I'm getting used to the smell. I need a new fragrance for myself. That's why 30 days. Mishnah said, "A mother is isha shel telech beis avia." Takes a neder on his wife. She shouldn't go to her father's house. You get married, you realize your wife loves going back to her father's house. When the father is living in the same city as her, chodesh echad yikayim. You want to stay in your apartment. You don't go visit your in-laws. So chodesh echad yikayim. If he says for 1 month, you don't have to. We're not going to go visit my in-laws. You can stay in marriage. Shnayim yoti v'den ksuva. As we saw from last Mishnah, Shtaim just means 1 month and a day. He has to divorce during the Kesubos. When the father lives in a different city, Regel Echad Yekayim. He says only for up until the next Regel, Yekayim Shlosha Yotivi Kesuba. If it's for a whole year, 3 Regalim, so then, right, usually a lot of times people go to their in-laws for, she wants to go to her mother-in-law, or she wants to go to her mother or father for Pesach or Sukkot or Shavuos. So 3 regalim, that's too much for Yotzi Kesuba. Hamader Tisha Shaltelach LeBeis Avel. Beis Hamish, he says you can't go to Menachem Avel, you can't go to a wedding. Yotzi Kesuba, that's too much for her. Say your wife, she can't, interact with people, have normal relations with people, including going to Menachem Avel or going to people's weddings. He has to give her a ksuva. No, he's destroying her personal relations. The Gemara explains he has a reason why he doesn't want her to go there. Rasha, he's allowed as long as it's a viable reason. He says some personal stuff that we talked about. You have to tell whatever you said. You have to tell somebody else, or whatever I said to you. You have to tell somebody else. You have to fill up and go dump it in the garbage. I'll explain what this means. Literally, it probably means just taking out the garbage, right? It's a man's job to take out the garbage, not a woman's job to take out the garbage. Yossi, we think ksuva. He has to divorce her and give her ksuva. The Gemara says hakufa kasha amar regel echad yikayim hashnaim Yossi we think ksuva. It says 1 regel he keeps her. More than 1 regel gives a ksuva. Ema seifa. Then the next line of the Mishnah says shlosha Yossi we think ksuva. He says 3 regalim, then he has to give a ksuva hashnaim. But if he says 2 regalim until 2 regalim yikayim, he can keep her around. Amar Abai seifa asam the kohenes. Rabbi Yehuda, the Seifa is not talking about Eishes Yisrael. It's talking about Eishes Kohen. We're more cautious. We wait a little more because a Kohen, if they get divorced, they can't remarry the Grusha. So therefore, Rabbi Yehuda, who made this distinction in a previous Mishnah, makes a distinction over here. He was talking. The Seifa is going according to Rabbi Yehuda. He was saying 3 regalim for the Eishes Kohen, but Eishes Yisrael, he would agree with the Tanakama that 1 is okay. More than 1 is a problem. 2 is a problem. Rab Barula Amar Lo Kash. He says a different answer. Sometimes women really love to go to their parents' house. Sometimes they don't like their parents. They don't want to go. So therefore, but still, they're not to go for a whole year. Basically, 3 regalim, that's too much. 3 regalim, you have to get divorced. 2 is okay, but if she's redufa, then even 1 regal, the first regal, she wants to go to her parents. As I used to be enough shalom. There are darshans, things relating to this idea that a woman wants to go to her father's house. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, where does a woman really want to go back to her father's house? This is on a high level. If she feels comfortable in her in-laws' house, in her father-in-law and mother-in-law's house, she's so proud of the fact that she feels comfortable, she wants to go back to, that's considered redufa, she wants to go back to her father's house. One day you'll be called, Hashem says to Klal Yisrael, talks about a husband to a wife, you'll call my Ishi, Bali, right? You'll be called my wife, and it's not. I won't be called your husband anymore. Right? If a woman is able to feel comfortable in her in-laws' house, that's a real big thing. That's when you know that she's your wife. When can you make a woman your wife? When is she your wife? Not just a husband who rules over her. Of course, the woman's going to feel comfortable in her father and mother's house. I mean, a woman grew up in that house. It's very rare for a woman to feel comfortable in her father's and mother's house. I say this because my parents are actually here, and I think my wife actually does feel comfortable hanging around with my parents. She wants them to come over. She wants to spend time with them. So she does feel comfortable. So that's a sign that, it means that the wife really feels comfortable with the husband, because she feels comfortable. Not just she wants to have to spend time not just with him, with his parents. I mean, she feels comfortable around the husband enough that she would want to spend time with his parents, because she has a good relationship with her parents. I mean, it's a good relationship, better relationship with the husband. So this actually plays into my life right now. So I guess my wife is called my wife, not just a ruling over dominant husband who forces his wife to go to his parents. She actually wants to go to my parents, spend time with my parents. That's the conclusion of today's shir. I hope you enjoyed. See you in Ilman Sion. We talk more about the difference between Tashmit, what does that Mishnah exactly mean by Hana versus Tashmit Shamita. I started explaining this yesterday, but the Gemara has a very interesting line over here. The Gemara says that Tashmit Shamita is Ef Sharba Parnes. Here Hana is Ef Sharba Parnes. Why is Tashmit Shamita? Technically, you can hire an escort for her, a gigolo. Why is that Tashmit Shamita? You can't hire a Parnes. Why is it Ef Sharba Parnes? I'm going to talk about the emotional needs versus the needs of enjoyment of a wife coming up next.